Some people might have a little rock and roll pneumonia.
You wanted the best, you got the best from my home studio on Long Island, New York. Welcome to Ian Scotto Rocks. I am your host, Ian Scotto, and we're waking up today learning of the news of the death of Judas Priest drummer Les Binks. Certainly not their active drummer. He hasn't been in Judas Priest since the 70s, but was on some of their favorite albums of the fans, Stained Class and Killing Machine, also known as Hellbent for Leather, because you couldn't have an album called Killing Machine back then. Oddly enough, we're learning that this happened a month ago, that he died a month ago, and we don't know many more details. It's being confirmed by the band via their social media, and not much more is known right now. Really unfortunate. And yeah, if you're a fan of those albums, then you know how big a contribution Les Binks made to the Judas Priest catalog and his style of drumming. Although there's not really much he has done since back then in the late 70s. He had a falling out with Judas Priest, but he did get to go back on stage for their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction much more recently, which must have been amazing. And then prior to that, when KK Downing left Judas Priest and formed KK's Priest, he asked Les Binks to be in the band, which would have been cool because you would have had 3 Judas Priest former members in that band between KK Downing, Les Binks, and of course Tim Ripper Owens, who does an incredible job on vocals, but that did not happen due to a major injury that Les sustained. And you have to remember, all of these guys are getting much older, and how demanding that type of drumming has to be on your body, especially for a guy who really wasn't active for many decades. I mean, he had a few small projects here and there, but nothing even remotely on the level of a Judas Priest if you look back at his history. He did do a few shows with KK's Priest, and that was about it. Now, interestingly enough, I have something with KK's Priest that relates to Les Binks, and that's that a year ago, I got to see KK's Priest play in Patchogue. Truthfully, I mainly went because LA Guns was the opener of that show. I didn't know what to expect of KK's Priest, but I was blown away. I mean, the fact that KK Downing is still playing on that demanding of a level on his 70s, and Tim Ripper Owens, amazing on vocals, but a song that they did that's become a mainstay of their set, which is kind of half KK's Priest songs, half Judas Priest songs, was Beyond the Realms of Death. And that song is also a mainstay over the years of the Judas Priest set. And if you look at the writing credits of that song, which is just incredible, I guess you'd call it a ballad, but there are heavier parts to it. It is the only song in the Judas Priest catalog that has a Les Binks writing credit. He co-wrote that song with Rob Halford. And it makes you wonder why his writing talents weren't used more. I mean, I don't think you just write a song that incredible on a whim. So I would think he had more in the tank as a writer, and I don't know why you didn't have more songs like that, because that is truly, I would say, one of the best Judas Priest songs I've ever heard. I was blown away when I saw KK's Priest perform it live, and it was like, I got to go back and revisit that song. So yeah, it is great, though, that he at least got the acceptance of that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction and got to perform one last time with those guys, because had he have not been inducted, I mean, he wouldn't have played with them in many, many decades. So that was cool that he at least got to go up on stage one last time. As I said, we don't know much more, and oddly enough, I've been working on a Judas Priest deep dive for the channel, but having nothing to do with Les Binks. This was actually 80s era Judas Priest that'll be up soon, long after he was in the band and long after they had a falling out. But yeah, to all you metalheads out there, rest in peace to Les Binks. Let's blast some Beyond the Realms of Death today, appropriately enough, in his memory, and those 2 great albums he was a part of. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We have some more great stuff coming. As I said, we have a deep dive related to Judas Priest coming very soon. We also have an awesome merch store that you can check out. Link in the description below. And that's why I always say, guys, if you haven't seen these bands live, go out and see them, especially a band like Judas Priest, where you have members in their well into their 70s, and you never know what's going to happen. I mean, you're sort of playing with fire at this point. No one would think, I don't think any of those guys would have thought when they were playing those really demanding high-speed songs that they'd be doing that into their 70s. So you have to think, much like Aerosmith, you may not get a farewell tour. You know, Aerosmith had to tap out after those first 3 dates, and it makes me really thankful that I saw them one last time in 2020. God forbid something happens to Rob Halford or Glenn Tipton. It'll be over at that point, and that'll be it for Judas Priest. And they actually just announced a new tour. They're going to be going on tour with Alice Cooper. It's hard to believe he's still out there doing this. So go out and see them. You never know when it'll be your last opportunity to. I think too many people make the excuse, I didn't get to see them in their heyday. Well, go see them now. I mean, I saw that Jim Brewer was on Eddie Trunk recently and speaking about how he flew all the way to Germany as a diehard Judas Priest fan and was blown away. And for myself, I've seen KK's Priest. Judas Priest is one of the few bands I haven't seen. So if I'm able to catch that tour, I would love to. By all accounts, they put on an absolutely killer live show. And if you're going to use the excuse about money being involved and that type of thing, look, Judas Priest right now, truthfully, they're not selling out the venues that they play. If you go on StubHub or Ticketmaster last minute, you'll get a seat for a good deal. Trust me on that. KK's Priest, they're playing smaller theaters. I saw them, like I said, in Patchogue for probably about $50. Well worth it to see a bill like that of them, LA Guns, and Burning Witches. So the next time they play your area, go see them. How many more years does a guy like KK Downing have left? But with that, rest in peace to Les Binks. Once I have the Judas Priest deep dive I'm doing, I'll link to it in here. But until then, whatever video I have up here, if you want to binge watch more here on Ian Scotto Rocks, just click right there. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. And as always, we'll be covering all that's going on in rock news, deep dives, and commentary.